Well, hello everyone, it's the Blue Best Boys back again with another video, and today we're gonna try something different. We're gonna translate some popular English literature quotes, for example, Christmas Carol or Romeo and Juliet. So first of all, we're gonna start with Scrooge's conversation with Fred, his nephew. I hope you're looking forward to it. I am. Let's get on with it. Merry Christmas, Uncle. God forbid. A happy voice cries, "Hey!" Scrooge S.A. In winter, when Scragg's nephew passed through the clouds, it became so hot that everything burned. Her face is pink and beautiful. Her eyes are bright, and the smell is sweet again. Stupid Christmas, Uncle. In Scross Brosson. Certainly not me. I will, Scrooge said. Merry Christmas. Do you have a kidding? Going for a walk? You are very poor. Then come, replied his nephew. Does darkness work? Why is it so dark? You are very rich. Scrooge said, not getting a good response right now. Wow, again. Follow the handbag. Not so, Uncle. Brasson. What else can I have, replied the uncle, when I was in such stupidity? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Christmas time for you. If you do not pay money, the growing season is 1 year, but not more than 1 hour. Time before you prepare your paper and submit all reports in 12 months? Brother, asked the nephew. Uncle, returned with anger. Have a Christmas like yours. You have too. Stay with me, Scrooge's nephew again. But you will not follow me. Let us leave him alone, Scrooge said. It could do a lot of good things. It's better if it's not for you. His nephew replied, I can do many good things that I do not want to say. Christmas and more. But I am sure that at Christmas, when it comes, there is always attention. Except the worship of a holy name and care, if any as well as kindness. Time, happiness, invitation, charity, beautiful time. All I know in this long calendar of the year is the time when men and women close their hearts and think about them by mutual agreement. They become more like friends going to the tomb than other species related to other professions. So I guess, Uncle, you never put gold and silver in your pocket. I mean, he did. I'm good, but I feel good. But I say, blessed be God. Slave did not accept VAT. In despair, he extinguished the fire and put out the last destructive fire, forever. I will hear your voice again, said Scrooge, and you will replace the lost Christmas. You are a strong speaker, sir, he said, turning to his nephew. Surprisingly, I will not go to Parliament. Do not grieve, Uncle. Tomorrow, with us, eat dinner. Scrooge said he would see. Yes. He then said he would see her with the arm first. But what? Scrooge's nephew was shocked. Why not? Why get married, Scrooge? Because I love him. You love? The only thing in the world that is more fun than a Merry Christmas, says Scrooge. Good evening. No, Uncle, but you did not come to me until it happened. Tell me, why does it not come now? Have a good day, said Scrooge. I do not want any of you. I do not want from you. Why are we not friends? Have a good day, said Scrooge. I'm sorry to be quiet. We never fought at a party, but I decided to go to space as a Christmas gift, and then get a Christmas smile. Merry Christmas, Uncle. Have a good day, said Scrooge. A good blessed year. Good evening, Scrooge. Okay, do you guys know that quote where Juliet said, Wherefore art thou, Romeo? And we actually thought she said, Where are you, Romeo? Well, we're going to do part of that now. So we're going to translate it into different languages and then back to English and see how different it is. Here we go. Romeo, visible. Remember the light, the sadness of the angels, because you are. As the glory is here, so is your law, and your ears are my work. As an apostle in the worship of heaven. Full coverage this season. The devil was coming back. It looks like a boring cloud. The light of the heart of light. July. Romeo, Romeo. Why do you Romeo? Ask your father and call on your name. Or, if you do not want to, this item comes with a sword only. I set your priest on fire. Romeo says, are we now? July says, but my name is a year. You go halfway, but you can't go to Montague. What is Montague? No eyes, no problem. It has no fruit, no brand, no other value. Nin, alas, be another name. What is the name? This is called red. If I have no other name, the smell is light. Then Romeo's school, if not Romeo. Keep your emotions in check. It is clear, Romeo, anoint your name. But knowledge is a name other than yours. Take it with you. Romeo, I will take your foot off. Just call me love and forgive me baptism, because it will not be Romeo. July, who is missing you? Much of my training? Romeo, ha! I do not know what I see. My name, medicine, stuff. Because of the people, Namanta realised that the time had come for me. July, my ears are not warm at all. We guarantee the language of light. Aren't you Romeo and Montague? Romeo? No, dear, if a year does not have love. July, here's what about the liver, tell me and why. That apple tree came to us. Dead dog. Think about who you are. If one of my servers finds it here, Romeo, I decorated the school with the wings of the law of love. For the stone shall talk of his love for her. And where is your love? So your life is not a game of chance. July, they forgive you, they kill you. Romeo, the clock is always right in front of your eyes. 32 swords, 6 spices sweet. But now I am not the light of the fire. July, you will be charged for all living expenses. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to try and translate the entire Jacob Marley and Scrooge interaction in Stave 1 of Christmas Carol. You guys better look forward to this, because I am. Here we go. Why not now? Scrooge says, burnt and fresh, as always. What do you want from me? More! Marley's voice is undoubtedly. Who are you? Ask me who I am. Who was it then? Scrooge said, raising his voice. You are special, Shadow. He understood the Shadow, but that changed. It suited him. I was his partner, Jacob Marley. Can you sit down? Scrooge asked suspiciously. I can do it. Then do it, Scrooge asked, not knowing that a ghost could sit there, and if so, he thought he would need some awkward explanation. But the ghost somehow sat down on the other side of the fireplace and held it tightly. You don't believe me, Ghost said. Maya, Scrooge said. What proves my truth beyond my senses? I don't know, Scrooge said. Why do you wonder? No, Scrooge said. They're a little affected. They're seduced by a little stomach illness. You can have raw veal, mustard seeds, a piece of cheese. Scrooge wasn't used to joking, and he didn't feel it in his heart at the time. In fact, he tried to be intelligent, divert his attention, and protect him from his fears, because he heard the sounds of horns, and because the people were very weak. Scrooge sat for a moment, staring at the silence, playing with his motionless glass eyes, and Scrooge was angry at him. It was also very bad that the Spectrum was given a unique indoor environment. Scrooge himself didn't feel it, but it was clear. For though the Spirit of God dwell in the flesh, the spirit, the flesh, and the soul rest. Do you see that toothpaste? Scrooge is where the only reason to continue the attack is to return quickly. For a while he regained his sight. Yes, replied the spirit. They are not looking, Scrooge said. But the spirit said, I see, but... Maya! replied Scrooge. I must win, and at the end of my life, the army of elves, all creatures will follow him. Hamburg! I will create you. Satan! At the same time, he moaned and shook the chain with a very loud black noise, so as not to grab the chair, so that the keys did not get tired. But the boy took the bandage off his head, as he feared the heat would hit his lower jaw. Scrooge knelt down and moved his hand forward. "Thank you," he said. "Fear, why are you bothering me? The brightest man in the world. Do you believe what the spirit says?" "Yeah," Scrooge said. "I need it. Why the hell have dreams come to me?" He replied, "I am going, sir. I am not going. If that person is not found alive, he or she will be sentenced to death." He decided to travel the world. Alas! He testified that he could not melt, divided the world, and became happy. And the spirit cried and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was as one dead. "You rely on him," Scrooge said in surprise. "Tell me why." Atma replied, "I carry the chain I created in my life. I went from neighbourhood to neighbourhood, from yard to fence. Acceleration, acceleration, acceleration. You do not know the weight and length of the strong rope you brought. It was very heavy, and long 7 days before Christmas. You have been working on it so far," he said. Scrooge looked at the ground, thinking it was covered with 50 or 60 ounces of iron, but saw nothing. He said, "Jacob," and prayed. "Old Jacob Marley, tell me more. Calm me down, Jacob." "I have nothing to give," replied the soul. "It's from another province, Ebenezer Scrooge, and they give it to other ministers and other boys. And you can't tell me what I want. No, don't rest." Scrooge used to put his hands in his pocket every time he thought about it. He did what the spirit said, but didn't kneel before him. "You must have been really slow in this, Jacob." Scrooge viewed it as a business venture, albeit with humility and respect. "Go on," the mind repeated itself. "He died 7 years ago," Scrooge said, "and always travel." "Always," said the soul. "There is no rest, there is no peace, constant torture and repentance." "Do you move fast?" said Scrooge. "They are on the wings of the wind," replied the soul. "He can go through a lot of territory in 7 years," Scrooge said. When the ghost heard this, he cried again, and in the middle of the night he was changed to trouble. "Oh! Closed and double prisoner," he cried. "This age of labour is fixed. It is for immortality. For this place must remain forever. Before that, everything is sensitive. Progress. And I was. Oh, there was such a... But, Jacob, you were a good businessman," said Scrooge, who is now washing his hands. "Business." The spirit cried out, his hands clapping. "Humanity was my business." He pulls the chain in his arms, as if to cause unnecessary grief, and forcibly throws it to the ground. "At the end of the school year," the audience said, "I have the biggest problem. What have I done with so many friends that I close my eyes and never a blessed star who led me down this path? Misunderstanding? And in brackets, 44. At this point, Scrooge was shocked by the audience's hearing and started to shake. "Listen to me!" cried the spirit. "My hour is near." "I want to," Scrooge said, "but don't bother me. Jacob, don't be a flower. Pray!" "I don't understand what I look like you see it in front of you. During the day, I sit with something invisible on top of that. There is no consensus. The scrub dries and dries up perspiration from the lips. It was not an easy part of my transition," Spirit continued. "I am here tonight to warn you that you still have the opportunity and the hope to escape my fate. Opportunity and hope for me, Ebenezer." "You have always been a good friend of mine," said Scrooge. "Thank you so much." "You are suffering," repeated the spirit. "3 souls." Scrooge's face felt like a nightmare. "Is this the occasion, and I hope you told Jacob?" he asked, shaking. "You." "For me, I think more," Scrooge said. "Without their coming," said the spirit, "you cannot expect me to stray from the path I have taken. The earth only remains when the bell rings. Can't I take it all and come back, Jacob? Scrooge. Stay on each other for the same hour the following night. The third is the following night, when the last of the 12 strokes ceases to vibrate. Don't see me any more, and behold, remind us what they did to you. And my friends, that is the end of Scrooge and Marley's totally real interaction. But I decided to go to space. July. It has no fruit, no brand, no other. I decorated the school with the wings of the lawn of love. I decorated the school with the wings of law. Oh, shit. And Scrooge was angry at him. It was at the same time he moaned. Scrooge used to put his hands in his pockets every time he brought about it. Scrooge used to put his hands in his pocket every time he thought about it. For this place must remain forever. His hands clapping. Humanity was my business. At this point, Scrooge was shocked by the audience. At this point, three souls. Scrooge's face felt like a nightmare. Stay on each other for the same hour. Stay on each other for the same hour the following night. The third is the following night, when the last of the 12 strokes ceases to vibrate.